you for joining this session. Icorp is represented today by Rob van Dijk, Jacques Segers and Kevin van Blokland. Icorp is a software vendor from the Netherlands, and we have long-standing successful partnerships with Unit 4 and Millennium Consulting. Following this brief introduction, we will show you a video demonstrating the MBilling system. After that, we have reserved some time for questions and answers. Let us look at today's challenges for companies regarding their billing process. In the current difficult times, it has become increasingly important for companies to manage working capital and cash flow. From a cash flow perspective, you want your invoices to be paid as quickly as possible. But to achieve that, you first need to send out your invoices as soon as possible after goods or services have been delivered. What we have seen from experience is that a lot of new clients and prospects struggled with their legacy billing systems to get everything charged correctly, completely, and in time to their customers. You would be surprised about how much revenue was being missed out on due to legacy billing systems not being able to meet complex billing requirements. For many customers, we have resolved those billing challenges by implementing MBilling. We would like to emphasize that MBilling is not just about creating an invoice in PDF and emailing it to your customers. That is the easiest part of the process. MBilling is about meeting all your complex billing requirements. It is about collecting invoicing data from multiple source systems, collecting both structured data and less structured data. It is about applying complex rules in MBilling to calculate invoice amounts. MBilling stands out because it is immensely powerful at applying algorithms. Another strength of MBilling is that it can deal with high volumes of invoice lines and invoices. Some of our customers perform billing runs of around 1 million transactions. Especially interesting for today's audience is the seamless integration between MBilling and Unit 4 financials. The posting of the billing is done automatically in financials. Master data can be transferred from and to financials as well. For example, currency exchange rates. The demo will show you how the billing process is performed step by a user of the system. Several of our customers run the billing process fully automatic, another great feature of MBilling. In fact, the power of MBilling sits under the hood. And the more complex the billing requirements are, the more excited we get about it. With MBilling, we help you solve all your billing challenges, and we always see a solid business case and ROI on our implementations. This slide shows a few of our customers. We have customers in a high variety of industries, as well as in the public sector. Although MBilling is a standard system, due to its flexibility and the fact that it is so powerful, we can meet the complex billing requirements of all those different customers. We will give you a brief impression of how some customers use MBilling. The first example is the Financial Services and Market Authority in Belgium. They are comparable to the Financial Conduct Authority in the UK. FSMA uses MBilling to invoice annual contributions to over 100,000 members in various sectors. Although the volume of invoices is relatively low, there are quite complicated calculations involved for each of the different sectors, dictated by law. A completely different type of business is Yodel, a delivery service company, delivering millions of parcels every week across the UK. Each parcel can have up to 50 characteristics, and together they determine the charges that will end up on the invoices. This is all being dealt with in MBilling. Quite a remarkable customer we would like to mention is GVL in Germany. GVL represents the interest of performing artists and producers in Germany, and they collect about 230 million euros per year. The extraordinary situation at GVL is that MBilling not only takes care of invoicing the rights users, but it also distributes the money to rights holders. The volumes are significant, and distribution runs of 800,000 records are no exception. GVL is a great example of the complexity that MBilling can deal with. Many things need to be taken into account in the distribution process. All these components together determine what will end up on the documents and what will be paid out. First, distribution rules are based on German law, which changes regularly, and most recently because of the COVID-19 crisis. There are contracts, mandates, and payment agreements. Distributions are made to many different parties, like artists, agents, heirs of artists, producers, event organizers, trustees, and rights management organizations in other countries. For each of those groups, the distribution rules and invoice layouts are different. Advance payments are being made that must be deducted from later payments. And finally, there are the income tax and VAT requirements that are not straightforward either. MBilling has been in use at GVL since 2017, and we have always been able to meet the continuously changing requirements. We hope that you now have a good idea of what MBilling is and what it does for some of our customers. As you are aware, MBilling is powered by Icorp. Icorp also offers solutions for the processes preceding the billing process. And, as you will see in the demo, there is a solution available for credit management as well. We will now start the MBilling demo. Afterwards, there will be time for questions and answers. Welcome to the Millennium MBilling demo. We will show you the main features, not only in the product, but also in the modules preceding and succeeding it. MBilling is an application that fully integrates with Unit 4 Financials and other software products, either on-premise or in the cloud. The product suite consists of much more than only complex billing. Feeding modules and follow-up applications like credit management are shown. Please get in contact if you're interested in exploring the options. Products can be used independently from each other, always clicking into your landscape easily. Let's now focus on billing, and especially the feeding part. Here we see how heterogeneous sources are scanned for invoice content. This diversity concerns not only the transport medium or sources read from, but also the content. It's no problem at all to collect data on products, transactions, commodities, personal expenses, recurring charges for rent, annual license fees, or for re-invoicing documents from Unit 4 Financials all at the same time. What we see here is an active approach with the initiative from within MBilling. But it's equally feasible to have other systems push in data, calling the MBilling web services. Here we see the result of the data that came in. During that process, enrichments have taken place, like recalculating the charges into the desired currency, which can vary per invoice. The VAT has also been applied, all via established algorithms that take into account whether it concerns services or goods, whether domestic, EU, or foreign transactions are involved, whether VAT reverse should be applied or not, and so on. After an inspection of what data has come in, we press the Generate button. Now algorithms start determining what to put on invoices and invoice lines. MBilling perfectly resolves consolidated versus one-to-one invoices, aggregations of lines, and the population of appendices containing the details. Set per customer, invoice stream, or company, whatever you like. Algorithms at play here and elsewhere in the billing process validate whether a certain threshold is reached, whether the addressee is still active, and everything else you like to be screened at specific stages of the process. It will not surprise that these checks are often done against Unit 4 Financials. Here we see the approval screen. Now the view is on invoices, in data or database format and as PDF. If you like, approval of invoices can be governed by adjustable algorithms. For example, amounts below £100 go through automatically, or if product X is involved, both the manager and the director must approve. Please note the diversity in layouts, currencies, languages, backups, and VAT. MBilling supports all. At the bottom you can see the VAT summary tables. Invoices can be automatically emailed, stored in a DMS system, and exchanged with payment portals. Now we switch to invoices that need reviewing by a colleague. You can simply ask for help and get your answer in return. The billing process for the invoice stops while it's under investigation. After the preceding process steps, which can also be automated and scheduled via a feature called the task runner, we reach the point at which posting to the finance system takes place. After all the years of creating posting algorithms, we have become experts in perfectly establishing the way you want your documents to be booked. Intercompany bookings are possible, as is the creation of tax lines, the calculation of home and dual currencies, doing matching, creating accruals, etc. You name it, we establish it for you. This document is the booking from the feed into Unit 4 Financials. If desired, it can be accompanied by the invoice itself as PDF or as a link to the DMS system. MBilling provides a plugin feature, enabling software to be embedded for tailor-made connections to other systems, streamlining your integration even further. Do you want to feed a particular payment portal? Create the specific code and plug it into MBilling for automatic execution at desired process stages. MBilling embraces OpenID Connect. Users can be authorized via Office 365 Active Directory or any other identity service provider that you prefer. Single sign-on at its best. Before going further, we like to position the billing process in the chain of process steps. We briefly saw the data bridge at work and the transformations taking place, as well as the subsequent posting to the finance system finishing the billing. All processes together, and the chain can be far longer than the model reflects, can be very complicated. MBilling covers all, integrated, seamless, and efficient. That's why we speak of MBilling as your tool for complex billing. Here we have visualized the connections that are possible for connecting and publishing data. The techniques used vary from web services, database links, and email to CSV. The main process steps are also shown here. Everything is aimed at seamless transport of master and billing data. Let us zoom in on one of the supporting processes, the maintenance of master data, called attributes in MBilling and comparable to the elements in Unit 4 Financials. The latter is often the source of master data, but it can also be a CRM system like Salesforce. MBilling assures that duplicates, gaps, and quality issues don't occur. You can also choose to turn sequences around and let MBilling be the source or intermediary, supplying the element data to systems as Unit 4 Financials. Now let's go back to the transactional data, the charges that have to be billed. Next to the large volume of charges coming in from the outside, MBilling allows you to easily create one-off invoices, or to specify the templates for recurring invoices, both of which will be pulled automatically into the volume billing flow. After showing you some of the functional details of MBilling, we will now focus on the volume aspect, where MBilling is so well versed in. The example we show here concerns a shipping company with business-to-business customers from all over Europe. Customer lorries on a regular and an ad hoc basis make use of the company's vessel services. Every sea journey must be charged and accounted for. The process starts with the collection of the journey data of the vessels. Interesting is where we see a little exclamation mark. That mark indicates that a discrepancy exists between the data received from the customer, where he bases his self-bill on, and the data of the shipping company. Those self-bills are accepted to not disturb the payment process, but afterwards the dispute is settled, either on the client or shipping company side. MBilling signals and keeps track of these differences and automatically settles the issue administratively when a decision has been made. The prices are agreed in contracts, as well as the form that bills will have. One journey on an invoice, a consolidated invoice comprising all journeys in a set time, so-called invitations to invoice or ITIs, self-billing invoices with or without required proofs of delivery, and so on. A wide range, all perfectly covered by MBilling. Technology keeps changing. Currently, we are in the cloud and mobile app era. MBilling is accompanied by an app that has the option to give an overview of customers, contracts, projects, and orders for their budgets and revenues, in this case sent invoices. This app will be extended to also accommodate approval functions for invoices. We saw the long chains of data that we as a supplier have an ambition to support, connecting financial processes in a seamless way. It's clear that credit management forms an indispensable link in following up on the actual billing process. In fact, credit management has an earlier starting point, namely in the establishment of creditworthiness indicators per customer. For that purpose, MBilling provides you with features for registering financial indicators, being the outcome of simple data collections and applied formulas. Here we see the dashboard overview of invoices that are overdue and the reminders that may have been sent out. If you look closely, you can also discern the urgency of addressing the case and the place on the management agenda, both the outcome of formulas. Now it's time for action. But which action? The system contains profiles for actions to undertake, which are blended in at the appropriate time. The outcome of actions can be registered and necessary follow-up planned. It doesn't have to be a specific invoice that is the trigger for action. It's equally valid to choose your starting point in the overall payment behavior of a customer. One of the outcomes of an intervention can be the agreement of a payment arrangement. Those arrangements are available as templates in the system, to be set up according to your needs. After payment, cases disappear from the reminder and action dashboards. Sending automatic reminder letters and other correspondence also form part of the solution. The exact pattern that you want to follow is determined at setup time. Because of time limitations, we won't show this aspect here. We hope to have given you a good overview of the added value that MBilling can have to your Unit 4 financial system and your system's landscape. In all cases that the software has been purchased and implemented, customers have reported a huge return on investment. Millennium MBilling comes forth from a cooperation between Millennium Consulting and Icorp.